Well, as you know, I don't usually give previews, but this turns out to be a bit of a long video tonight, for good reason, because this happens.
You know, as far as tobacco stains good, this is a good one. It's okay. We've all seen a lot worse, but they've gone off again. Hello, okay. I just thought we should make a video on this because it's quite an interesting topic. It's something that happens on a regular basis. When I say a regular basis, I mean every week, if not every other day. And I completely understand why it happens. And what I'm talking about is customers having a little bit of information, quite simply because of YouTube channels like mine. And this TV we've got in front, you've probably recognised straight away for those people that are regular viewers with this channel and know a little bit about what we do here. It's a Vestel TV, and this TV does not have any blink codes. But yet the LED will blink when you turn it on. But all LEDs blink when you turn them on. But when people see the TV LED blinking and then they don't get a picture, they get that confused with an LED blink code. I'm trying to think. There are not that many brands that do the LED codes. The original was Panasonic. They still do carry the codes. Sony, of course. Samsung did a 1 and 2 blink code, and they're still doing that now. 1 blink is good. 1 blink means the main board has failed on Samsung. 2 blinks mean it's the screen that's failed, and that's not so good. That's when we have to do some paper tricks or some shorting and stuff. Vestel have never done a blink code. Even the Vestel Panasonics don't have a blink code, and that's where the confusion is. This has come from a TV repair shop. Well, actually, it's come from an electronics repair shop. They deal mainly with laptops and game stations, etc., the type of things that I won't touch with a barge pole, quite simply because it doesn't interest me. I get no satisfaction from swapping a HDMI over or doing board repairs for game stations. I just don't. I get satisfaction from this. I always have done, whether the TV is 20 minutes old or 20 years old. But sometimes customers having a little bit of knowledge is dangerous, and we're all the same. And I'll give you an instance. Today I've needed brake pads replacing. My rear brake pads, or one of them, is scraping, so I need it doing. It's not the sort of thing I do myself, just don't. Not been interested in that sort of thing. Now, I've checked out the price of the brake pads online. They're 20 quid. And I've been quoted today between 170 and 250 quid to have the job done. Some mechanics, some garages saying it's an all-day job and they want the car all day, which I find very surprising for a pad replacement job. I don't believe that's the case at all, so I kind of give those a wide berth. But again, it's not my bag, it's not my cup of tea, I don't get involved. But I would imagine most mechanics are on between 40 and 70 plus pounds per hour. But if you want 220 pounds to do brake pads, of course I've seen the brake pads online, eBay, etc., and I've seen them for 20 pounds. I'm sure that garages are charged between 40 and 60 pounds for their brake pads, but I'm exactly the same anyway. So the electronics company have been in contact with me and said that this TV has got an 8 blink code. Now, 8 blink codes are Panasonic, and that's either a failed screen or it's a failed, is it SS board? What's the X-main called on Panasonics? Let's just call it an X-main. It's either of those. Vestels, this one being branded a Bush, don't have any codes. So let's just have a look at where the confusion could be with an 8 blink code. So the TV is currently in standby mode with the red light on, and I'm now going to turn it on just by using the little toggle switch behind, for those people that don't know. And a lot of the videos I've done recently, I've done thinking that everybody has watched all of my videos for the last 10 years. And of course it's it's not the case. So I've currently got my hand around the back there, as you can see. There's a little toggle switch here. So if you haven't got the remote control on Vestels, there tends to be a toggle switch or a little switch somewhere. And I'm just going to start toggling that, and then it will bring this TV out of standby mode. So we'll count the blinks. Are you ready? Bit blurry. 1, 2, oh. Oh. That I didn't expect. Okay. I'm now feeling really stupid and a little bit embarrassed because I've never had that on a Vestel before. So I'm just switching, I'm at the mains plug now and I'm switching on and off. I don't get that. So let's try again. Switching on. Standby. Toggle switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the 8 blinks he's talking about. Right. Okay. I don't know what happened before. I didn't understand that. But again, that's how easy it is to get confused with blink codes. But once again, I must state that this TV does not have any blink codes. This TV is now on. I know you don't believe me. I don't know why I've gone to that camera, but it is on. Let me get a torch. Notice how I call them torches? A lot of people started calling them flashlights. I understand. I get it. But I'm going to get a torch and I'm just going to get the mobile cam, and you can probably see that the TV is actually on. There's some menu instructions in the background. Again, people who have watched this channel for ages will know exactly what the problem is and know where I'm coming from. So the TV is on, working as normal. The picture is not being illuminated. The LED backlights on these have failed. But people will have seen the LED light blink 8 times. Well, it would blink 8 times if the LEDs were working, but when it's not working, some people are confusing that for some sort of code. It isn't. This TV is acting completely as it should, apart from the LED circuit, which isn't working. So the process begins now of just dismantling the TV. And the first thing I have to do is take the stand off. I have done at least 150 of these, and there must be 20 videos on my channel somewhere of Vestel 32-inch backlight repairs. So I'm not going to bore you with taking the back off. Just give me a moment to do that, if you'll be so kind. Also, you may notice in the far right hand corner, Exhibit A, I do have a cup of coffee and I'd like to drink that. By the time I finish that cup of coffee, the back will be off and we can go to the next stage. But if you're going to send me a comment saying, oh, well, it would have been great if you showed us how to take the back off, I'm sorry, but I've done that so many times on the channel on other Vestel TVs. Just go and have a look for them. They are there. There's step-by-step guides, but all I'm doing at the moment is taking the screws out and taking the back off. You can do that. You can train your dog to do that. In fact, train your dog to do it. Very nice cappuccino. Very nice cappuccino. While I was drinking the cappuccino, I was thinking about my last comment. Not the comment about getting your dog to take your TV back off. But if I class myself as anything, I class myself as a realist, and I think the comment of I've taken the back off on many other videos, go and watch those, is actually not right. That's a bit rude, isn't it? Because if I was watching a TV YouTube video for the first time and they wanted me to go scrolling through their videos, I would say, go and ball your head, goodbye. So yes, I should treat every video I do, because there are new people joining me all the time, and I'll possibly not show you how to take a back off because it's screws and out, but I will show you how to get through to the backlights, even though I've done it on many other videos. I think I should do that, quite simply because some very generous person sent me $10. What's the YouTube thing called? Super thanks. Yeah, super thanks. I'm not au fait with this. Even though I've had this channel for 10 years, I'm not au fait. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not au fait with all the terminology. And I did a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago saying the channel needs to make a little bit more money, so we're doing these coffee things and the super thanks, which is great, and I really appreciate it. I'm a bit embarrassed. It sounds like I'm begging every time, but it really is great, and it does help the channel. So yes, I am a realist, and I'm well aware of just because I've got a dozen videos of me taking the back off or showing you how to get to the backlights, I shouldn't ask you to go and look through those. Maybe I should show you every single time. It's worth you just letting me know in the comments on that, just in case you're thinking, oh no, don't, Al, because you've showed us so many times. Let's just see what the fault of the backlights is. This TV has been in a smoker's house. You can possibly, well, maybe you can't. Yeah, you can tell, because they're not bright white. They are supposed to be the same colour as the little sticker here, and that's white, and this is turning brown. So if that's turning brown, why are you touching it? If that's nicotine stained, I don't know. And I now need to go and wash my hands. But yes, let me know in the comments. The other thing to let me know into the comments, and I know I disappoint people, I've got to keep this basically a TV repair channel. Some people have said, oh, you're fixing a couple of amplifiers, and I don't, because we don't fix the amplifiers here. I fix them at my boss's house, or my boss's gaff, and we don't have cameras there. This is me and my boss reminiscing about old amplifiers, and we just get stuck in and do it. So sorry, I can't. And I want to keep this strictly a TV repair channel, because that's what it is. But in saying that, I've come across a couple of items which I kind of want to show on the channel, but you'll have to let me know if you're interested before I even think about switching the cameras on, because there are things I can do here. I didn't know, there is a neighbour of mine who's passed, and he's not a direct neighbour, so he's about half a dozen houses up the road, but of course we always bump into each other, we see each other and say hello. And he's had a Bang & Olufsen shop in this village years and years, decades and decades ago, before I arrived here, and I've been here 40 years. And when he passed, somebody said he's got so much Bang & Olufsen stuff in the attic and the garage, you ought to go. And well, I wasn't interested at the time. I'm not really interested in Bang & Olufsen, but there is somebody that's asked if I want some Panasonic vintage stuff. One is a DVD recorder, which is my favourite DVD recorder model, the Panasonic DMR E20. I've got loads of them. They were the first DVD recorder to come out in 1999. They're not much use in this day and age, but they're still fascinating. But what makes this different is they're brand new, boxed. Somebody, a friend of a friend who watches the channel, who lives about 20 miles away, has said, we've got 2 brand new Panasonic items in a box. Would you be interested? One of them is a DMR E20, brand new in its box, never opened. And the guy used to run a Panasonic shop, to which I've said yes. And I'd be interested in opening up the box. I don't know if you're interested in that. If you are, in the comments, let me know. But the other thing they've got, which I'm not familiar with, and I don't remember this, from the same sort of time, year 2000, maybe a few years later, is a Panasonic DVD player with a built-in tuner. And that's it. It's a Panasonic DVD player and built-in radio FM tuner. Not an amplifier, or they've told me it's not an amplifier. Something in my hi-fi brain tells me it must have an amplifier in there. It's got to be. I've never known such a combination of a DVD player, well, they said DVD recorder, but it can't be, DVD player with a built-in tuner. Have you ever known that as a combi? Anyway, I'm picking them up tomorrow. And obviously I'm being given them. Brand new. What you would class as new old stock. One of the boxes has been opened. I think it's the DVD recorder has been opened so they can just have a look what's inside it. But they'll be brand new in the box with the original remote control and registration number. So if you're interested in me opening those on this channel, let me know and I can do it probably at the weekend and show you the video next week. Just let me know in the comments. But I think that may be quite interesting. Anyway, once again, as always, this comes off. It's a little, it's just got little double-sided sticky pads, of which all I do, and I'm probably going to do it now because I can just reach over and get some of my old trusty B7000 gunky glue, which I forgot to put the screw, the thingy top back in. So it doesn't dry up, it just blocks the top. This glue will go on for decades, if not a bit longer. Anyway, so I'm just squeezing a bit of glue on. Oh, maybe it has dried up. Because that is not coming out at all. Because it's at the bottom. That's why. So that, oh, I can smell it. It's going to come out now. There we go. Just a little bit of that. Hold that in place and that'll be fine for later. So that doesn't have to come off, that doesn't come off. I've disconnected the speakers, I've disconnected the Wi-Fi card. That should just come away now. There it is. And again, I don't know if you can see, yes you can, look. Oh, I'm touching it. That probably looks like it's got hot and there's a burning issue, but I'm afraid it's not. It is, because it's all over here and it's around, it is tobacco. I don't really have too much of a problem with tobacco. I'm not keen on it, but I am now going to put on a pair of gloves, which I don't usually do for these particular jobs. But I am a non-smoker, but I am a non-smoker, non-preacher. You know, I believe in everyone's free will to do what they want as long as it's legal and it gives them pleasure. So if you want to smoke, you carry on smoking. But there are some engineers that will not repair, not just TVs, but electronics in general. They don't want it in their workshop. They can't stand the smell of it. And I do get that. I'm not one of those, and I don't go around preaching that you shouldn't smoke. You do what you want to do. But there are consequences, as we know. We've got some plastic grips holding on the T-con board. Technically this is a T-con board. It was attached to the screen, but it's not the T-con board as we know and love. I'm just going to put that over there. Anyway, we are free to turn this over. Now, what I tend to do, and hopefully you'll see, is just to get me started, don't get me started. This is the bit I can't really explain to anyone that's never done this before. You just get a feel for it, and how much pressure you need to put on it just to release it. And I've now released it enough that that's going to help me. In fact, when I start coming down the sides, you can see it's coming off. But I'm afraid to say that is something that you cannot be taught. It's just one of those things that you grasp. I used to work with an engineer that always used to say, oh yes, well I've got the experience, so I know. And that just sounds so, doesn't it? And I don't want to be that person. Even though I probably am that person. So yes, thank you very much to everyone that has donated to the channel recently, whether you've PayPal or whether you've done a super thanks. It's really, it is so kind, and it is making a difference. I don't want to bleat on about it, but it is starting to make a difference. It means if I need a new soldering iron, my accountant's not going to tell me, well, not a soldering iron. Soldering iron costs can be covered in my normal electronic duties, because obviously I do this for a living. But I'm getting a lot of computer costs, microphone costs. You may have noticed I've had an iffy microphone recently, and funnily enough it's a DJI microphone, and DJI are just the most fantastic company ever. And even though the microphone levels that I have, I don't think I can show you, no I can't. The microphone levels I have are saying it's great. One day it's low, the next day it's distorted, and I don't know until I do the post-production. And it's really irritating me. And I thought it was my mixer unit or something I was doing. It turns out that my receiver is dodgy. And DJI is sending me, well, have sent me a new receiver, which I'm using tonight. So hopefully you can hear me okay. DJI is just an amazing company. I do go on about them quite a bit recently because my hobby is their drones. And their customer service is just fantastic. And hopefully you saw how I got the screen out. I'm now trying to make amends for making a horrible blatant comment about go and watch my videos if you don't know how to take apart. I'm feeling that was wrong to say, so I'm now going over and above, trying to show you how to take this apart. And it's all clips, so it's just another set of clips. Don't be worried if some of the clips break. It doesn't mean you're bad at your job. They're brittle clips, especially these TVs. I mean, I don't know who the original customer of this TV is. As I say, this has come from an electronics repair shop who, again, wouldn't have the backlights in stock and thought it was a 8-blink code. But I don't know who the customer of this is, but mistakes will always be made. And breaking a clip here and there, that seems to be stuck just where the tobacco is. Anyway. So I'm just going around, getting the clips off. I mean, I'm wearing gloves because it's got stuck just here. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going out of focus. Stuck just there where the tobacco bit is. There's no clips there. There's a clip here and there's a clip there, but it's stuck just there. Okay. So what are we expecting to see behind this? For those that have joined the channel recently, 2 LED strips. There'll be 11 LEDs on each strip. They are wired in series, like your mum's old-fashioned Christmas lights. And there they are. This is just kind of held down with nothing. And again, we're seeing, just let me lift the camera up a little bit, and you can probably see that's not glue. It is, I'm afraid, a bit of tobacco stain. So I did say 11, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on that side and 11 on that side. So 22 LEDs light up the screen. Or in this case, it's not lighting up the screen because probably one of these LEDs has failed. Maybe 2, maybe 3. I would guess 2, because sometimes these sets, they can handle one LED shorting and it's fine. Because it's getting a constant current. Now, I'm not going to get into the LED driver constant current type thing, but there are 2 ways an LED can fail. They can fail just like a normal light bulb can fail at home, where just like a fuse breaks, the continuity breaks, and that's it. Because as I say, they're wired in series. So if one of these fails like a normal light bulb, then the connection is lost. But what normally happens with these is they short out, which is a good thing. Because if they short out, the LED driver can handle one of them shorting, so it doesn't light up, but continuity still passes through. And sometimes it can handle 2, but then it gets a little bit confused. There's a current issue when you start having 2 or 3 that aren't right, and then the LED driver will switch off, and that's what's happening here. The LED driver is not even switching on. I'm guessing on these that we haven't got any short. We've got one that's probably gone. We're going to replace both strips, but for the sake of the channel, we will test. Now, I don't mean to bleat on about this because it's not a big thing for me, but I'm making a big thing of it. Again, we've got tobacco stains here, and I've just noticed, in fact, I've just noticed right where the LED diode is. You can probably see the tarnish of the colour of the LED plug, but I'm disconnecting that. There is a chance that maybe the power supply has gone faulty, and maybe the that's the capacitor, that's the diode that's responsible for filtering the LED circuit. Sometimes on these, we don't suffer with poor capacitors as such, not the way we used to do 15, 20 years ago. But you still do get faulty capacitors, and sometimes on these boards that cap does go. That's actually looking quite good. I don't think that's our problem. And I don't think, and I doubt very much, the fact that this is a smoker's TV and the LED circuit side of the PSU is tarnished. I don't think that is causing a problem. More than likely, it's the age-old problem of one of these LEDs has burnt out. And the reason I've disconnected that is because I'm going to be testing them with an LED tester, so I'm sending voltage the opposite way, and I don't want voltage to go back to the LED driver, because it's rare, but it can cause problems. Right, my LED tester is switched on, I do believe. These automatically, and again, I know I'm speaking to the converted for a lot of people, but there are now 300 volts DC coming from these. If you were to touch them, you would get quite a nasty tingle. But Again, it's a constant current, so it will recognize how much voltage is needed and it will go to that voltage. So if you understand that these are 3 volts each, it will recognize that per strip it needs to get the correct voltage. So let's just, it's going to be 33 volts, and one of these, do you know what, I need to put my glasses on because I can't see positive and negative, and you'd think the amount of times I've done this I would know, but it doesn't work that way. Shall I turn some lights off so you can see better? And should I go to the top camera? Yeah, probably. Probably should have gone to the top camera a long time ago. As in January. Right. There you go. You can see better now. So let's try this bottom one first. Plus and minus, are all these going to light up? There's a chance that they're all going to light up. And they do. Does that mean it's fine? Well, it's taking exactly, well, 29.7 volts. Oh, one's disappeared, one's gone. And now it's come back on again. This one here that I'm touching with me little pinky, can you see this one that I'm covering up? That didn't come on for a bit. Now it's not on. And it's come on faint. In fact, there's a lot of these not coming on, but as soon as it gets a bit more voltage, they come on, which it's not supposed to do. Let me just come around this way, and you will see that better. Can you see how those 3 don't light up until it gets... And then there's that one here, which does not want to behave itself. Let's just test this one on the top, see if there's an obvious fault on the top. Well, again, there's 2 of them which don't want to play ball, but they've all lit up. Now, I would guess... I don't usually do this, I normally replace both of them, which obviously I am going to do, but let me just rip out, and you do actually rip them out, there's not much holding them in. You just be gentle when you get to this stage, don't rip that out because it's still connected to this board here and you want to take it out. So, let me get one from the brand new set. There's one. Let me put this in. I will do the sticky stuff later. Let me now connect the LED tester back up. Sorry, LED tester. The LED circuit. I've got my gloves trapped in it. Okay. Lost the mains cable for it, it's over here. I'm being extra safe. So let me just see. This is just quite simply for people that have not seen any of these happen before. If that bottom strip was the faulty strip. If I had to guess, I would say it was the bottom strip, but both of them were acting a bit weird. So we're plugged in and I need to go to the toggle switch as I've shown you before and turn that on and see if they come on, and I don't think they're going to come on. The TV is on. Oh, is it? Right, sorry, I got called indoors. So it was obvious that both strips had gone. Well, I say it was obvious. We did the tests. It wasn't that obvious, and I kept swapping. I've been swapping them over for 5 minutes, and I got called indoors because for a second, I was leaning towards there being a problem on the power supply because I noticed that the main board was switching off after 20 seconds, which I've never seen before. But I've just tested both backlights, and both of the ones are in here that were faulty. You don't always get that. Anyway, let's just test. There's a chance this may not be coming on. We may have a power supply issue on this, which does happen. Oh no, we haven't. It's right. So with 2 new sets in, it's gone on and it's gone off. Let me switch it back on and make sure it stays on, because this power supply is a bit. No, I actually think we've got 3 problems on this, which we don't usually have. I'm going to switch off and switch on again, but both strips are faulty. But I think the condition of that power supply, and I would say the LED driver, I mean, I did swap these over, so they're not as level as they should be, not as smug fitting, but I can put another set in, I don't mind that. Right, they're on, but they go off after a time. No, they're not. Okay. So it probably just wasn't connected correctly. But that was rather bizarre. I'm not 100% convinced on this particular occasion that it is the normal fault. I'm sorry, it is the normal fault. It is the LED strips. But there could be an issue with that PSU. But they're staying on now. I'm just going to wobble these about a bit, just in case. So you can't really see what I'm doing, but I can show you what I'm doing. I'm just playing with the leads, obviously wearing gloves. Because I can't understand why I don't know. Rabbit holes, we used to call them. But I'm just going to make a little note on this job. I don't usually, but I think I'm going to make a little note on this job just to say tobacco stained. I mean, again, interested in your comments on this, especially if you're an engineer that's worked on electronics. And I know a lot of people that have retired or they just watch the channel anyway. But there are some people that wouldn't go near something that's been tarnished with tobacco. I'm not trying to make a big thing of it, but, you know, as far as tobacco stains good, this is a good one. It's okay. We've all seen a lot worse, but they've gone off again. Right, I'm just going to short out a particular side of LEDs to see if that brings it back on. Don't try this at home. No. No. It is definitely the LED driver that is shutting down. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're still powered on here, so I'm trying to be careful, because you probably can't see too much with the camera being up here, but I'm going to bring the camera down and show you. For all purposes, it probably looks like a lot of these components are burnt out, but they're not. The little spikes you see is tobacco. And again, look at that capacitor. It's not dirt. So I think, as well as new backlights, I think this TV is going to need a new power supply, because it's not happy about something. I mean, it could be the diode, it could be the capacitor here. I doubt it. Diodes, you know, they're either working or they're not. They can go a bit leaky, but I don't think that's going to be the problem here. So I'm going to have to quote the... I mean, it's not a fortune to repair these TVs. I charge £39 for a new set of backlights. But I can't charge £39 and for it to go faulty again soon, and then my reputation, what is my reputation? Precisely, to get any worse. But this has got a power. I haven't got another power supply here. It's late at night. Well, it's 10 to 10. I'm not going to the lock-up to fetch another power supply. But I think this does need another power supply. It's had 2 new strips of backlights and they're still not happy. The power supply seems to be shutting off. And of course, I haven't taken this power supply off, but if we're seeing, shall we say, some tobacco in... Oh, look at those 2 main filter caps. I mean, yeah. Sorry, again, don't want to make a big thing of it, but we can... I don't think tobacco is conductive. But if it's got to the other side where the LED driver is, there could be all sorts of problems. Okay, so I'm going to leave this video here. I will get another power supply tomorrow. If I need to do a part 2, I'll do a part 2. But I'd be interested in your comments on tobacco-stained electronics and where you stand personally. Are you okay dealing with them? I am. It's just that this has caused an extra problem tonight. An extra problem for the customer. I'm afraid he's going to have to fork out not just for 2 strips of... Well, I've got to price it up now. Obviously, I've told them how much it is to replace the LEDs if it's an LED fault. Luckily, I said if it's an LED fault, because it is more than an LED fault on here. There is a chance that those 2 strips were perfectly fine, but no, they weren't, because they weren't lighting up at all. So it needs 2 new LED strips, and it needs... well, I could replace the LED driver, but in these circumstances, I don't fancy soldering a tobacco-stained LED driver on and off, especially with the other problems that this board has. But it's not got an 8-blink code. That was the reason I'm making this video. It's not an 8-blink code, it's just that the backlights were not coming on. Now they are coming on, but they're switching off after a few seconds because, well, because of another issue. But that's another issue for another day. Thank you very much for watching. If this needs a part 2, I will do a part 2, I promise. But if it's just a case of swapping a power supply over, then that doesn't really warrant a new video. I'll just let you know. Thank you. Actually, hang on a second. I've just thought of a third issue that it could be. Even though this was a new strip that I'd put in, I've taken it in and out so many times, it's slightly concaved at the top, and a slight crack can cause problems, especially when they've been heated up. So, because they're wide in series, I'm just going to short out the top 2 pins here, so it should bring just these on, and I want to see if these stay on. If these stay on, it's not an LED driver problem and it's not related to the tobacco. It was a problem in this strip, and I'm just going to have to go and fetch a new strip tomorrow. But I think that would be interesting to try and find out tonight. So I'm just turning the soldering iron on, and I'm just a bit of solder behind me. So many people in the comments in the past, I need to put my glasses on again, have said TVs don't work unless you have the correct amount of LEDs in. That's simply not true. They are a constant current. Yeah, now hopefully you can see, I've just put a blob of solder on there now. This set is fine. I didn't manipulate this set, but that set I kept taking out and putting it back again. So anyway, let me switch on. See if that set comes on by itself. Have I disconnected them? No. And stays on by itself. Right. So I'm just playing a waiting game here. I'm just going to see if these go off after a few minutes. I think it was about 3 or 4 minutes, wasn't it, when they were going off? It could be quite simply because that I've manipulated this set so much that actually I've broken these, or there's a little crack appeared. So I've got to get another set, which I haven't got here tonight. I fetched in another set this afternoon, ready to do this job tonight, and then I'm going to have to fetch another set up if these stay on. Let me switch the soldering iron off. I can also switch some other lights off. What you have to understand is I was incorrectly, do you know, I was tapping them first to see if they would go off. And then once they'd gone off, I think I did tap to see if they would come back on. They won't come back on once the LED driver shuts them down. Shorting out and making the continuity again will not bring them back on. The LED driver is disconnected to the circuit. You have to switch off and switch on again. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's a tobacco-related problem. And I just wanted to point that out, just in case the smokers that are watching this think I'm having a go at them. I'm not having a go at you. Light your pipe up. Enjoy your... I used to love the smell of a pipe. Do people do pipes? I haven't seen anybody smoke a pipe in a decade, probably 2 decades. Anyway, it's looking like it was that set. So the only fault was with this was it had 2 faulty strips. I wanted to show you that it possibly just had 1 faulty strip, and then by chopping and changing them, I have, because they stick down obviously, and then when you lift them up they bend, and they cause small cracks, and it just breaks the continuity in the circuit, and I think that's what's happened. I could give the TV back with 1 strip in, but the picture quality wouldn't be great. Now, just because now I've shown you how to do that, don't go getting any ideas. These strips are not expensive, but it's not an LED driver problem. They would have switched off by now, wouldn't they? We've passed the point of no return. It's 2 dodgy strips, man. So I'm going to have to fetch another brand new strip up, which means I'm not putting this back together again tonight. But I just wanted to do a conclusion for the video for you. Don't thank me. It's okay. Well, it's all right. It's okay. But very quickly, before I go for the 3rd time, I think I've gone 3 times tonight, haven't I? Hello to all the new subscribers that have joined us. It's nice to have you. Oh, there you are. It's nice to have you on board. And thank you very much to all the people that have recently been doing this. As I say, super thanks, which is buying me cups of coffee and a bit of extra coffees, which I think YouTube will pay me at the end of the month, which is nice. It really does add up, and it's fantastic. So if you've learnt anything tonight, apart from don't give me your TV to repair because I'm probably going to break a brand new set of backlights, then you can do a super thanks too. It is appreciated. But I'm glad we got a conclusion to this, and I'm glad it wasn't tobacco related, because it is rare for that to happen. But there are some people that won't touch them. They won't repair the TVs if it's got tobacco stains. I've put some gloves on, and I feel okay. I don't have a problem with the smoking community. You carry on. And that being said, I'm now going to carry off. Thank you for watching. We know what the problem's been on this TV, and I'll sort it out tomorrow. Bye.